Hey, my name is Blake. I'm an AI engineer based in New Zealand. Every day I get to build and teach with AI, from chatbots, automations, and custom tools for Kiwi businesses, and even one-on-one coaching calls. There are so many AI tools out there, so it's really hard to figure out which ones you should be using. So I thought I'd share the ones that I actually use every single day. In this video, I'll take you through my full AI tool stack, the ones that I rely on for coding, content creation, and general productivity. Let's dive right in. The number one tool that I use every single day has got to be ChatGPT. The memory feature that it has to be able to remember every single past conversation and all the key information from there is so much better than the other models. And so if I'm asking it questions, it has all the context about me, who I am, what I've done previously, what we've talked about, the projects I've worked on. And so the output response that it gives me is a lot more catered to what I actually want compared to using the other models where I'd have to provide all of that in the prompt. So some of the examples, I use it for just everyday quick questions. If I'm trying to figure out USB-C hub solutions, or having issues with my monitor, and refresh rate fixes. Another thing for thumbnail designs is really cool. So I can upload this little character, as you'll probably see in the thumbnail of the video, and I can convert it to, hey, I actually want it to be a half cyborg, acting like AI is my other half, and then I can get this and use this image in my thumbnail, which is really, really cool. They also have custom GPTs, which we can go over here. There's a whole lot of range of already made ones from different companies, but you can create your own. And so these are some really cool, powerful tools where you can upload specific knowledge sources and it will only retrieve from that information. And you can customize exactly with a system prompt how it responds to you. So a really cool one I did for a real estate agent was this AI listing assistant custom GPT. And as I mentioned, you can set up some system instructions, which is that system prompt pretty much. And so you can put in details around your real estate listing AI agent. You can put in the key information around what you should be saying, what it shouldn't be saying, avoiding phrases that the real estate agents wouldn't actually like, and as well as inputting examples. So you can upload your entire previous listing descriptions and use that as a reference moving forward so that AI knows what you actually want it to do. You can upload files and other documents as well to help its knowledge source. Use the different models as well if you want a thinking model or one of the faster models. But the really cool thing here is all these other capabilities. So web search is what we use for this one. And so for example, we can chuck in a street address, 50 Parnell Street in New Zealand. And so what we'll see is we'll actually go and scrape the web for information around 50 Parnell Street. Turns out there's actually two. So let's go Christchurch. And then it will get all the information, how many bedrooms it is, square meterage, all of that information. And then based on all those examples and how we want the listing description to be, it will write that out. And so we've got that written out there, which is really cool. And then also broken down into the other separate categories. And so you can fully customize it for what you'd like. The other use of ChatGPT is the different models inside of it. And so for all my really quick usage, I use 4.0, but if I want some more deep thinking, I use the O3 model. And so for example, I can upload my channel data from YouTube as a CSV and get it to perform some analysis for me. And so this is an example, do an in-depth analysis of my YouTube stats, outlining the key metrics of what is working well and what isn't. And so it takes that data, imports it in, gives me some tables, gives me some graphs as well of my monthly viewership. We've got CTR versus videos, high-level takeaways, things that are working, things that aren't working, and giving me some guides moving forward, which is awesome. The next AI tool I want to talk about is Cursor. Cursor is an IDE, which is an integrated development environment, and it's a wrapper around VS Code, which is one of the most popular ones. And what it actually allows you to do is enter simple text prompts and get AI to write and edit your code for you. So it really, really speeds up development time for mainly web apps is what I use it for, but also you can use it for scripting and anything else. One of the really cool things I actually have set up here is an MCP server. And so that hooks into Supabase, which is a database provider. And for example, if I had a blank web app, I could go, hey, build me a user login screen and link it up to a database, and it can do that for me. So for example, if I go, what projects do I have in Supabase? And it will go away, use the MCP tool, and actually figure that out. And so while it's building all the front-end code here, It can then run SQL queries to set up my database and then have it all linked together, all from my own text prompt, which is really, really cool. And so you can see there outlines the ones that are currently connected to this account. The other thing that I like in here is the two functionalities. You've got agent and ask, which are the main ones that I use. So agent pretty much just allows it to go ham anywhere in your code and fix things or change things. Ask is where it doesn't actually change anything, but you can ask, oh, how do I do this? How should it be done? Are there any issues? Manual as well is where you can target certain files if you want it to only look at certain areas and not edit anywhere else. It's pretty useful. And then background agents, which is something that I've recently released, which is kind of a competitor in a way to how Codex is, OpenAI's Codex. And so what it can do in the background is run and solve a lot of problems that you give it, and then pretty much create a pull request in Git. And then you can just review those changes before pushing them into the main branch, which is pretty cool. I pay roughly 20 USD a month for Cursor as well, so I'd highly recommend that. There are other tools out there like Bolt and Lovable, which if you're not as technical, they can be pretty beneficial. And there are new ones popping up like Gemini's CLI and Claude CLI. But for the cost, paying only 20 USD and now getting unlimited model requests, as well as the ability to change which model you're actually working with, I think it's really awesome. The third tool I'd like to talk about is Google's AI Studio, which the really cool thing about it is it's completely for free. All you need is a Google account and you can sign into here and play around with all of the different tooling. And it's their latest models that are coming out, even with video, music, and image generation. So they have their general chat window here, and what you can do is select from all of their range of models, from their open source Gemma models to their previous version of 2.0 and even their latest 2.5 Pro version. What's really cool as well is the ability to play around with the temperature, the top P, the output, the thinking modes, and gives you that customizability that ChatGPT and the other model providers don't necessarily give you. But the really cool thing here is the different modes on the side. One of them is stream, and so that allows you to actually share your webcam or share your screen. If you share your screen, a really cool use case is if you're using a software or a tool you haven't used before, you can share your screen and have a live conversation with Gemini, helping you through it. Oh, I'm in SolidWorks, how do I make a new part? It will guide you through that and speak to you. You can also share your webcam if you want to show it things and talk about things that it can see. The other cool tool in Google's AI Studio is the generate media function. And so inside of here, you can use their latest Imagen 4 model, their Gemini speech generation, their Lyria real-time music generation, their VO2 model for video generation, which are all models that are really, really top of the game. It's not their VO3 model in there yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if that comes really soon. And in terms of getting free speech generation, image generation, and music generation, there aren't tools that have that all in one package, which is cool to play around with. I've got a full video on that. I'll leave the link in the description below if you want to check out those tools. The other really cool feature in here is their build tab. And so this works pretty similar to how Cursor does. I can type in a prompt and it will go and build out a full web app for me. For example, I did a dinosaur jumping game. It is really crap, but all I told it was to make a dinosaur jumping game recreation. And so it built this for me and I can jump, and then if I die, I lose and I get a score. And if I wanted to carry this on, make the UI look way nicer, have a cool background, have login, keep your high score, all of that kind of information, I can just ask it to, and it will go and build that for me. If I want to deploy it as well, I can go deploy to Cloud Run, and it hooks into my Google Cloud account. There would be some costs around that, but you can get a website up and running really quickly. That is all just coded from AI, which is, again, really, really cool. The last AI tool I want to talk about quickly is Claude, and Claude is really, really good at two things. One, it's really good at coding. So inside of my Cursor environment, 90, probably 95% of the time, I'm using Claude Sonnet 4 at the moment to do my coding, as well as hook into my MCP server to run that for me. But the other really good thing is content generation and kind of having a bit more human feel on the output, which is really, really useful. And so, for example, if I look to hire a video editor for my videos, I can put in some information around me, my current channels, and it can output some really good text around that. Whereas I find ChatGPT becomes a little bit too generic with its output, Whereas, yeah, through Claude, it just has a more of a human touch. I don't know if it's a preference thing. Another example is if I want to edit my YouTube description to make it sound a little nicer. I'm not the best with getting my words across. I can use Claude to give me suggestions and help change little bits and pieces and get that done for me, which is really, really helpful. Claude also has a thing called artifacts. And so like Cursor or Gemini's build, you can actually build little web apps or little projects that you can use. And there are a whole lot of example ones here around life hacks and games and interactive quizzes. And so I've seen people even upload their study notes and create quizzes and games for them to play and learn, which is cool. QR code generators, a whole lot of stuff, even language learning. A lot of these AI tools are really good at teaching you to do things. So if you want to learn something, they can create you a fun little game or interview you or test you and all that kind of thing, which is cool. This Forest Explorer one is, again, really cool. So it's a game that you can actually interact with, look around, run around. And so if you keep adding to that, hey, I want a different environment, I want huts in there, I want rocks and rivers, and carry on with these things. If you go into that customize window, you can actually build out something that's really cool to share with other people. So those are the 4 AI tools that I use pretty much every single day. If you found this video quite useful, I post a whole bunch of content around AI guides, so leave a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.